Today we're celebrating the fourth Sunday in Advent, and we have lit the fourth candle on our Advent wreath, and that candle represents peace. This is also the last week that we prepare for Christmas and for the birth of Jesus. I'm going to read you this book, Santa and the Christ Child. I hope you'll enjoy the story. Santa and the Christ Child, A Christmas Legend, by Nicolas Blackwell, illustrated by Herbert Braeburn. Hello from Santa's village. This is Santa Claus speaking to tell you about a sequence of amazing and unforgettable events. It all started while I was feeding the reindeer one morning, just a few weeks before Christmas. I was surprised to find a young boy asleep in the stable. A handsome child who just begged to stay and see how we prepared for Christmas. I agreed and took him around the village and introduced him to the elves. When we got to the carpenter's shop, he was especially attracted to that and wanted to know if he could help out there. It turned out he had quite an aptitude. The child just endeared himself to everyone, and everything was going great. I was especially pleased, as we were ahead of schedule on the inventory. Then just when everything was going so well, tragedy struck. While out searching for a lost reindeer, I slipped on the ice, fell and broke my leg. The doctor put on a cast and said, "Well, that's it. Your trip is off. Christmas is only 2 weeks away. There is no way you can make the trip this year." What a disaster. Everyone was terribly upset and dejected, except the child. He went right on working in the carpenter shop, making toys. He moved into my house so he could kind of look after me. He exercised the reindeers every day, and he made me a beautiful set of wooden crutches so I could at least hobble around a bit. In addition to all of those activities, he was working on a secret project in the carpenter shop. He had it all screened off so no one could see what it was. The elves were just about bursting with curiosity and finally tried to sneak past him to see the secret project. He caught them and said, "If you'll get to work and finish up these toys, that would please Santa very much. Then I'll show you the secret project." The elves agreed and quickly got back to work. On Christmas Eve, they finished up the very last toy. So the child pulled aside the screen. You should have seen the excited expressions on the faces of those elves when they saw the wonderful secret project. I was here in the house, of course, with my bad leg and all. It was Christmas Eve, and the doctor had come by to be sure that I wasn't planning anything rash. I said dejectedly, "No way, Doc. I can get around a bit on these crutches, but there's no way I could make the trip." Just then I heard something outside the door. I could hardly believe my ears. It was the sound of sleigh bells and prancing reindeer hooves. Doc opened the door, and there was my sleigh, all loaded up with toys and ready to go. The child waved from the driver's seat, and the elves were shouting from the back, "Come on, Santa, we can make the trip now. The secret project is a special place for you to ride." There, attached to my sled, was the most remarkable conveyance, like a chase lounge on which I could lie back with my leg all propped up in comfort and safety. Doc checked it out and said, "It looks great. I'm sure it'll work fine." So they bundled me up and we took off on the big trip. As we reached each rooftop, the elves did all the chimney climbing, while I was in the back checking off the list. When we got to the last stop, I was overjoyed. I didn't think we were even going to make the trip, and here we were finally finished. The child came back and said, "Santa, I know you must be tired, but can we make one more stop?" I said, "Listen, we'll go anywhere you want to go. If it hadn't been for you, we could never have made this trip." The child said, "I just want to show you where I was born." We took off into the silent night, following a bright star that I had never noticed before. Such a star! I had never seen such a star. Soon we landed by a humble stable. The child came back and said, "Come with me, Santa, please come with me." He helped me up on my crutches, and together we started hobbling towards the stable. Suddenly I looked around, and the child had disappeared. Then I heard the child's voice coming from the stable saying, "Don't be afraid, Santa. This is where I was born on the first Christmas night. Drop your crutches and come kneel with us." Almost overcome by the sudden realization of what I was viewing, I let my crutches fall to the ground. Hesitantly, I walked forward, took off my hat, and dropped to my knees before an incredibly beautiful scene, the Nativity. When I could finally catch my voice, I asked, "Why? Why did you come to me?" The child's voice replied, "To remind you, dear Santa, to remind you and all the world that Christmas is my birthday. the birthday of the Lord. So if we remember that Christmas is Jesus' birthday, and that is why we celebrate, that is why we get gifts, and that is why we give gifts. And this year, which is a little bit different than years past, let us take this week to think of something special to do for the people we love and give that to Jesus as his gift on Christmas Day.